Well, it's time now to sit back and enjoy the action. Liam can describe it. We're seeing the pictures come into the studio here. A fantastic stadium. There's a light show. We can see all the camera phones on there. It looks an amazing atmosphere. Let's hope that the Scotland players can deliver. It's the first of 4 warm-up matches for us ahead of the Euros opposition tonight. The Netherlands, a big, big challenge. Let's cross to our commentary team in Amsterdam. James McFadden and Liam McLeod.
Yeah, we're down to the big countdown, aren't we? 3 months until Scotland kick off Euro 2024 in the Bavarian city of Munich against the hosts. It's going to be quite an occasion, but in order to be fine-tuned for that, they want to use these 4 friendly matches in the best possible manner, and this is the most challenging of the 4 between now and the kick-off on the 14th of June as they come up against the 6th ranked Netherlands. We can hear the music in the background. The atmosphere is being ramped up. The huge Dutch shirt down there, the banner on the pitch with the brass band standing in front, ready to partake in the national anthems. And the 2 flags to the left, the Dutch flag, the red, white and blue, and to the right, the Saltire. As Scotland look to win on Dutch soil for the first time since 1959 and put an end to this current run that sees them without a win in 5 since the victory in Larnaca over Cyprus in September. And they've only won 1 of the last 12 meetings with the Dutch. The man to my left scored the goal in that Euro 2004 playoff first leg. And then it all went horribly wrong in this very stadium. And James McFadden, I think this is the first time you've been in here since that infamous night. It is quite the sight here. And they've got the roof closed, massive 2-tiered stadium all the way around, and just a brilliant atmosphere.
Oh, it is, you know, it is my first time back. Hopefully it's a better experience. I'm not getting any flashbacks, so that's good. I think we're fine, but no, it's an unbelievable atmosphere. The stadium in itself is so impressive, and it's a huge game. It's a huge game for Scotland to go and test themselves. I think it'll be extremely competitive, and this will be a group of players that they will be speaking about the run of form. There are elements to that where you can maybe make allowances. The France game coming off the back of just getting your qualification, the changes that were made to the lineup in the last 2 group games as well. I think that you can make allowances, but the players won't be using that as an excuse, and neither will the manager. They'll be set up to go and win this game and put on a performance.
The referee from Belgium, Eric Lambrechts, has just led the players out. They are lined up in front of us, facing the stand. We are right up high in the heavens here, looking down above the Scotland technical area, and the 2 sets of players are ready now for the national anthems here at the Johan Cruyff Arena. And it will, of course, start with the visitors and Scotland. Well, as you can hear, the Tartan Army in good voice, well lubricated as well, I would imagine, over on the far side. Now time for the Dutch national anthem. Home fans acclaim the Dutch national anthem, Wilhelmus. And now the pitch will be cleared of everything bar the players. The Scotland lineup there in the new kit that they will be wearing at the European Championship finals in the summer. The navy blue with the white and yellow flashes. The Dutch in their famous orange and black. And there will be the pre-match team photos down there. The Scotland lineup. Angus Gunn in goal, just his 8th cap. He was introduced a year ago. And, barely put a foot wrong since taking that #1 shirt. The back three there: Porteous, Henry, Tierney. Tierney earns cap number 42. Porteous is into double figures now. Nathan Patterson gets his 20th cap at right wing back, with Andrew Robertson now up to 68 in the cap count. He's now just one behind Kenny Miller. David Weir will be another target for him after that. John McGinn and Ryan Christie earning caps number 63 and 46 respectively. And Lawrence Shanklin gets just his 2nd start for the Scotland senior side. The Hearts man has been in superb form this season. And 55 goals in 86 appearances in Hearts colours is an impressive feat. The Scotland players down there just getting one last word with each other. And the players are going to line up on the centre circle, because there will be a moment of silence in memory of Kees Riviers, former Dutch national team player and national team coach, who recently passed away. And this is an opportunity for the locals here to pay tribute to Kees Riviers. And that's just being announced. The crowd here in the black and white image on the 2 huge screens at either end of the Johan Cruyff Arena. Kees Riviers will be remembered now.
Please take a moment of silence for the Dutch player and coach Kees Riviers, who passed away earlier this month at the age of 97.
Kees Riviers, the former Dutch coach, who was credited really for introducing the current coach Ronald Koeman to the national side, along with the likes of Ruud Gullit, Marco van Basten, players who led this country to European Championship title in 1988. And now it's all about the game. Scotland are going to kick us off here as we watch from the main stand. Up high in the main stand here, they're going to go right to left. And this is going to be a big test. Comparable, really, you would have to say, with the challenge facing the Scots in the opening match of Euro 2024. John McGinn with the first touch from the centre. Back to Porteous, who launches it long with the right foot out towards Shanklin on this near side. It's one in the air there, though, by Mats Wiefer of Feyenoord. And now it's picked up on this right-hand side by Memphis Depay. Covering across is Hendry, and he puts it out, and it's come off the Dutchman last. And Scotland have a throw-in, level with their own 18-yard line down on this near side. It's good to see Kieran Tierney back in the team, James. He's had a couple of spells out with injury this season, playing, of course, on loan from Arsenal at Real Sociedad in Spain.
It is, because I think when, you know, Scotland play the back three, he's crucial to that, because of how intelligent he is, because of how aggressive he is and he's defending, because of how comfortable he is to go and then cover for Andy Robertson, allow him to go and attack. And I think when we play that back three, we're a much better team with Kieran Tierney in it.
McGinn forcing the ball forward. It's good covering across by Luciano here. Truda, another one of these Feyenoord players who led the Rotterdam club to the Dutch Eredivisie title last season. It's looking like that title is going to Eindhoven this time around. PSV with a 10-point lead over the defending champions. The team that plays here, the famous AFC Ajax, sitting fifth now, but they were propping up the table as recently as the late autumn. It's now back with Angus Gunn, who bowls it low out to this near side. Tierney into the feet of McTominay, the big hero of that incredible campaign, winning their first 5 matches, as Christie rolls it into the centre circle for McGinn. McGinn then with the left foot along the deck to Porteous. Out on the touchline's Patterson. And touches it back to the Porteous Watford defender. He's actually scored a couple of goals in his last 3 games in his club side. It's now with Tierney, long ball for Robertson, the skipper's header infield towards Christie is nodded out, and Scotland have settled pretty well here.
Well, they have, you know, that last passage of play, it starts with Angus Gunn, and normally we'd see that ball go from back to front, go and fight for it, pick up second balls, but they drew the Dutch in, played round them, then they go direct to Lawrence Shanklin, takes a really good touch, and Scotland then gain territory in the Netherlands half.
Billy Gilmore just turning it out to Patterson. Looked as though Jack Hendry had misjudged a bouncing ball there. Memphis was in behind him, and Hendry recovered, and now it's with Patterson on the far side. Infield to Porteous, chip ball forward. It's one in the air by Manchester City's Nathan Ake. Picked up in the midfield here by Jorginho Wijnaldum, but he's given it away, and now Scotland have it with Shanklin. Just runs into trouble though, and it bounces off him and back into Dutch possession, and it's collected here by Gertruda on the right hand side of centre, midway inside his own half. Back to Van Dijk, the Dutch captain, heading towards his twilight years now. Virgil van Dijk, as far as his playing career is concerned, 32 years of age. This is his 65th cap tonight. That's the ball back to the goalkeeper Mark Flecken of Brentford in the Premier League, and he's someone who'll be very keen to make an impression. The Brighton keeper Verbruggen, who's on the bench tonight, looks as though he will be the first choice. But here's Patterson down the right hand side, down by the corner flag, being chased all the way though by Reinders, and then he's put under too much pressure. I don't think he felt there was enough support out there for him, and it's Nathan Ake who collects for the Dutch. 3.5 goalless minutes in Amsterdam.
He had to cross it first time, Nathan Patterson. If he gets his head up, Lawrence Shanklin had picked up a position behind Van Dijk, just in front of Gertruda. If he flashes that across the box, that's a chance for Scotland. It's good play initially from John McGinn, as we're so used to seeing, picking the ball up, driving forward with it. Patterson makes a really good run, and it's perfect for him just to deliver first time. He turns out and the chance is gone, but it's still a promising move.
Scotland have a free kick meantime. It's about level with the edge of the D of the Dutch box, right over on that far side touchline, and right in front of the Scotland supporters. 2,500 of them occupying that couple of sections over on the far side in the top tier. And John McGinn's going to swing this in with the left foot into the Dutch box. It's not the best delivery though. It comes right through to Flecken, who unchallenged is able to gather with both hands in the 6-yard box, and is pulled out to this right hand side. An opportunity here for the Dutch on the counter. Driving forward, Frimpong into the box comes the ball, but he can't find Memphis Depay. Breaks to Tierney, and he's able to get it clear. But that was a lightning break there. We know how fast Jeremy Frimpong is.
And he had options on the left as well. But that is a danger. You know, it's a great opportunity for John McGinn, and he just right into the arms of the goalkeeper, and as soon as he catches it, they've got options left, right and centre there, showing their threat early.
Jack Hendry's claiming offside. There's no flag at the moment. The Dutch are in. An opportunity here. Gakpo, round gun. He's forced really wide there, and his effort's blocked by Kieran Tierney. The flag eventually goes up, and that is much to the frustration of Tierney, but they've got to let these attacks come to fruition before they can make the decision. But it seemed clear he was offside.
Yeah, but as you say, they have to let it go. They have to, you know, let that play develop.
Apparently Andy Robertson, it's pretty tight. Nothing came of it, but yes, he's just off.
He's off, and look, I know that it looks like it, the speed the game's played it. I don't like it, but it's part of the game, and it has to happen. I can understand the frustration of Kieran Tierney, but thankfully, you know, it's a correct decision, and there was no damage done.
Yeah, but it just shows you Scotland have settled pretty well in the game, but little lapse at the back, and you could be behind. McTominay out to the far side, Patterson infield to McGinn. 6 minutes in then, and it's nothing each, and it's back with Hendry. Right foot, side foot ball forward to McGinn, who blasts it back first time to Tierney on this near side. Uses his head to find Robertson, rolls it up the line for Ryan Christie's been outstanding for Bournemouth recently. He's found Shanklin. First time out to Robertson on the left-hand side, taking on Frimpong. Christine support, Robertson crosses, couldn't quite find McGinn, and it's flicked away at the edge of his own box there by the Dutch midfielder Reinders. Here comes Scotland again on the right. Patterson gets the cross in, headed away by Van Dijk this time. Throw in Scotland. It's been a good start.
It has. Great attack down the left-hand side. Nice little layoff from Shanklin into the path of Robertson. Ideally, Andy Robertson wants to deliver that first time, but because it's Lawrence Shanklin that's laid it off, doesn't have the option. Kieran Tierney goes round him, and the ball does come in, and then when it goes back to McTominay, lovely little reverse pass to Patterson. You have to miss Van Dijk. He's the big target at the front post. There's options round the back. McTominay, Shanklin, Christie's there. You have to miss him. There's another good opportunity there for Scotland to go and try and score a goal.
Netherlands have a throw in over on the far side, level with their own 18. Nathan Ake is over it. He's had a good career, 3-time English Premier League winner. He's won the Champions League, the Super Cup. And the Dutch sloppy again in possession at the back. Scotland have it again. It's Porteous flashing it into the centre circle to the feet of Tierney, who goes to Robertson, and he elects to go back to Gunn. Comes outside his box and launches it forward with the right foot out to this near side. Cushion header infield, Tierney to Christie, does well to flick it McTominay's way. McTominay driving forward right in front of the ref. We didn't like the fact he sprung out an arm there. He was just trying to hold off his man, and the referee didn't like it, and Scott McTominay's going to be yellow carded here as well.
Yeah, it's something that Scott McTominay may well get away with playing in the English Premier League, but when you come into, you know, these types of games, the foreign referees don't like that. You know, he's trying to put his arm out to get protection, propel himself away from Xavi Simons, and he does catch him in the face. I don't think he needs to do it, but he's just trying to fend him off, and he maybe makes the most of it. Might have been across his chest, but you don't get away with it, certainly in games like this.
It's with Van Dijk for the home team. He's rolling it to the left for Ake. Short ball up to halfway for Memphis on the turn. Porteous trying to stick with him. He's flicked it forward to Gakpo, well read by Patterson, who slides in. Now it's Shanklin to McGinn. Patterson on the overlap if he wants him. Instead he twists and turns, and Dutchman, wherever he looks there, John McGinn, he's having to come back towards the halfway line. And he's done brilliantly there. Shielded it from 3 home players, and coolly rolls it back to Jack Hendry. Really good retention of the ball there by John McGinn.
It's brilliant use of his best asset, making sure that backside's in between the man and the ball, and he easy, you know, to get excited there and just try and find a man, but he shows great composure and belief in his ability to hold players off.
Scott McTominay flicking it to McGinn right of the centre circle, looks up and switches it to the left. It's now with Robertson, approaching 10 minutes, no goals. Scotland though made a positive start to proceedings. Tierney back into his own half for Hendry, and now it's with Porteous right of the centre circle, passing it back to Hendry. I don't think was expecting it. It's actually broken Tierney's way, and he passes it back to Angus Gunn. To the edge of his box, long with the right foot out to this left-hand side. Christie going after it. Frimpong heads it away though. Bounces off McTominay, breaks to Tierney. He's found Shankland, takes it in well, fires it into the feet of Patterson wide on the right-hand side. Looks up at the box, crosses in. Shankland loops a header towards goal, but it's wide of the target. But it's brilliantly worked by Scotland again there. Netherlands 0, Scotland 0, 10.5 on the clock, but that was a brilliant break.
That was, and he started well, Shankland. Anytime the ball's come up, he's managed to get a hold of it or lay it off. It's slightly overhit, he's at full stretch, he takes a brilliant touch, and Patterson's unlucky. This time he finds Lawrence Shankland. Again, that movement just to find the space, just clipped into him. It's going to be some header to score from almost 18 yards. You're looking at it, can he maybe bring it down? He's under a bit of pressure, but it's a good start for Lawrence Shankland. Good start for Scotland.
Xavi Simons for the Dutch finds Ake to the feet of Simons again. An excellent season at RB Leipzig in Germany. Is Simons sitting 5th in the Bundesliga. Van Dijk rolls it forward. It's a poor ball from Van Dijk straight to Henry. Now it's McTominay fighting it forward, looking for Robertson. Not getting there. Frimpong trying to shield it out, but Robertson's pinched it off. Frimpong, he claims he was fouled. No chance. Robertson has it. It's a poor ball. He's so much better than that. He's got too much on it. Gilmour eventually gets onto it in the far side, but not in the kind of position that Robertson was hoping to find a teammate in, as Gilmour goes back to Henry.
He's just overhit it. I think it's the right option. Andy Robertson does brilliant to keep it alive, and then Shankland's making move after move. It's the right decision to go and try and stand it up to the back post. He just overhits it.
McTominay showed too much of it to Reinders, and the Dutch are on the counter. Memphis can't quite get there though. Henry has it and finds Gilmour, who's been put under pressure by Wijnaldum. He's found Patterson on the far side. Infield to Porteous. Now Gilmour. First time back to Henry. What's impressing me so far is the way the Scots are knocking the ball about. Supreme confidence.
Yep, not rushed, not forced. At times they have, gone direct, whether you're looking for Robertson or Christie on the left-hand side, or even just a clip into Lawrence Shankland to allow him to get a hold of it. But it's patient. There's no desperation about it.
Again. Tierney forward to Shankland. He's on the turn. He's under pressure on this near side from Wiefer. It's back with Tierney on the halfway line, and this is a big switch coming up here again. Tierney pinpoint for Patterson, who's on it now. Right foot low ball in field, looking for Shankland, but it's been pinched back by Gertruda, and then Simons out to Frimpong on this near side. It is goalless in Amsterdam, but a really promising start by Steve Clarke's men.
Yeah, it was the right ball from Nathan Patterson. Lawrence Shankland just wasn't alert to it. John McGinn had made that run from inside to out, up the line, left a huge space for Patterson to try and find Shankland, who, unfortunately just wasn't ready for it. But the composure and, the passing from Scotland's been really, really impressive. I know we're just starting the game, but a real belief about the performance already.
The Dutch are in possession here with Gertruda. He rolls it infield for Ake, playing at left back, but of course he's a centre back as well. He's moved into a central area just now. It's with the home team. It's picked up in the midfield by Wiefer, flicking it out to this near side, and then it's worked back to the left of the centre circle. Ake goes long, looking for Memphis Depay, but it's headed away by Patterson. McGinn has it nicked off him by Ake. Again, it's another dreadful ball. The Dutch haven't started this game yet. Scotland looking to take advantage of that, because they most certainly have.
No, they haven't, but they've been in situations where if they pick the right pass, they're looking to try and breach that back line of Scotland. They've got great movement, time of the run's great, the pass just isn't coming, and although it looks untidy, they still look dangerous.
That's a poor ball out of defence by Porteous though, and now a chance to come forward. There's a brief appeal for handball as that was dinked into the box by Reinders. Came off a Scotland defender and cleared. And here they come again. Wijnaldum just switching it out to Frimpong on this right hand side. Midway inside Scottish territory. Finds Xavi Simons, and then to Frimpong, goes back to Wiefer, and then to his club mate Gertruda. There's Van Dijk. Options ahead of him, and he just slips it into the centre circle. It's fired out to this near side, but it's straight to Robertson, who's got Christie galloping ahead of him. Robertson instead turns it into Gilmour. Back to Robertson. Just inside the centre circle. He's almost over in the right wing position now, Robertson. It's found Patterson, who just leaves the ball for some reason, and it goes out for a throw-in on the far side. Did wonder how rusty Nathan Patterson would be. He hasn't played for Everton since the end of January, so he's been out for nearly 2 months. Doesn't seem to be getting a chance under Sean Dyche at your old club there.
No, he'll be fit enough because he's been training, been available. Yeah. But that sharpness, you know, the first opportunity where he could flash that across first time, he'll need to try and play himself into the game there. And, you know, the one he's just let go, it looks like he's going to take the touch and take it on. He's tried to show the dummy, misjudged the pace of the pass out to him when it goes out. But I think just getting those little rusty moments out, if you like.
It is Frimpong on this near side, rolling it infield for Xavi Simons. Showed a bit too much of it there to Christie, but he gets away with it. Gertruda has it now with Van Dijk. And then Reinders in the centre circle finds Ake. No goals, which has been an entertaining enough start to this friendly international. Scotland have got Northern Ireland to come on Tuesday, and then 2 more preparation matches at the start of June. And they will face Gibraltar on the Algarve, and then Finland for the big send-off at Hampden ahead of the tournament starting. It is Van Dijk slipping it to Ake, and then back to Van Dijk. Forward to Xavi Simons. First time ball to Gertrude on this right hand side, and he elects to go back to Flekken, the goalkeeper. This is a starting 11 that won't have started terribly often, if at all, before for the Netherlands. Frimpong, for example, earning just his second cap this evening as Billy Gilmour collects his scraps in the right for Scotland, driving to the right-hand side of the box. 3 waiting in the middle. Here comes the cross ball. Christie with a header off the bar via the goalkeeper. What a save from Flekken. Ryan Christie must have thought he was opening the scoring. Wonderful opportunity. It stays Netherlands 0, Scotland 0. I'm sure the keeper's got a touch to that.
Oh, he has. It's an incredible save. It is brilliant from Billy Gilmour down the right-hand side, winning the ball in midfield, driving. Lawrence Shankland starts at the back post. He then makes the move, and as the ball's clipped in, you're thinking, oh, you know, if he holds his position, he can go and attack it. Christie comes from nowhere to get his head on it, and Flekken, without doubt, touches it onto the bar. It is a brilliant save. It's a certain goal. Billy Gilmour, tremendous. Ryan Christie judging the flight of the ball, and it's a great save for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's tipped on to the crossbar. It's a magnificent bit of goalkeeping. That will do his prospects of starting for the Dutch at the European Championship finals in June no harm at all, because the #1 shirt in that team very much up for grabs at the moment, as Simons is tripped by Shankland. The Netherlands have a free kick just inside their own half, which is rolled back to Gertruda. It's the chance of the game so far, and it fell to Ryan Christie. He's going to have to wait a bit longer for his 6th international goal.
It's one of them as well where you can't even say that he should do something else. It's just a tremendous save. Ryan Christie judges the flight of the ball. It just drops over the head of Gertruda, and he gets good power on it as well. It's just a tremendous save. But great play again from Billy Gilmour down the right hand side. And Scotland are playing with a bit of swagger, a bit of confidence, you know, taking the ball. It's not rushed. Even Billy Gilmour's run, just supreme confidence.
Started quite well against the French in Lille as well, but here come the Dutch in the left-hand side. Opportunity here for Wijnaldum. It's away from a couple of challenges. He's forced outside the area, rolling it back the way, and then out to this near side for Frimpong, level with the penalty spot. Makes his way into the area, rolls it back the way to Wiever, and now it's Reinders. The Dutch supporters are wanting them to shoot a goal, and perhaps overplaying it slightly in their eyes as Xavi Simons picks up and finds Ake over in the left. The Scots have got men back now, of course. Gakpo, it's a brilliant ball in, and a really important header half away, knocked back towards the penalty spot by Frimpong. McTominay gets there and comes away with it and shifts it out to this left-hand side for Christie. Christie has it into the centre circle, works the 1-2 with McTominay. Still going, Christie. Rolls it out to the right-hand side for Patterson, who plays it low infield to McGinn. And then back to Hendry. Both teams look capable tonight.
Yeah, and even that moment there where Kieran Tierney, it's a brilliant defensive header at the back post, but when the ball drops to Scott McTominay, he's got his back to play, he lets the ball run across, shows a bit of composure, and then, you know, Scotland keep the ball instead of just clearing it and panicking. There's been a real confidence about this Scotland performance, but they have to be careful of the runs, particularly Wijnaldum.
Yeah.
Making that run beyond in between Hendry and Porteous, Hendry and Tierney. They have to make sure they're switched onto it, because they are looking to make those runs. They've just not been able to find the pass, but they did on that occasion.
Wijnaldum, one of Andrew Robertson's teammates that won the Champions League and the title in England itself. Now he's at Saudi Arabia playing alongside Jack Hendry at Al Ettifaq under Steven Gerrard.
He's just playing in behind the Scotland midfield. Scotland are going high up, pressing man for man, and when Wijnaldum is picking up that position in behind the midfield, Ryan Porteous is locking on to try and stop him, but it's not when the Netherlands have the ball in defence. It's those moves and the balls maybe on the other side, that intelligence, the timing of run. That's something Scotland have to be wary of.
Billy Gilmour started this game brilliantly as well, as Robertson dinks it forward towards Christie. One in the air there by Gertruda, and out for a Scotland throw-in on this near side.
And they've all started the game there.
Yeah.
Ryan Christie's another one. Shankland, he's held the ball in well, he's linked to play. Robertson's got forward. Patterson, he's got forward and put a couple of crosses in. And Scott McTominay, Gilmour, John McGinn are showing that composure when they're on the ball.
And Ronald Koeman down there, the Dutch coach, fantastic player himself in the orange and black, as Christie finds McGinn, back onto the chest of Gilmour, and then to Tierney. This near side, forward to Robertson, first time to Christie. He was trying to return it to Robertson there, and then he's fouled by Xavi Simons, and that's going to be a Scotland free kick. Christie's done well there because he was going nowhere. The ball was going out to play for a throw-in, but he saw there might be a challenge coming, and he's bought his team a free kick. A chance to potentially get the centre-backs forward.
Yeah, it is pretty wide, but still an opportunity to go and put the Dutch under pressure with a decent ball into the box, something to go and attack and keep alive. But some of the little patterns of play have been excellent. Up to Shankland, round the corner, players moving, responding to each other. That has been really good so far.
Played just about a quarter of it, 0-0, as Gilmour takes the free kick into the box, headed away by Van Dijk. Will be picked up here for the Dutch by Memphis Depay. He's evaded the challenge of Christie, bursting across halfway, knocking it forward. It's just slightly behind Frimpong, who popped up on the left-hand side of that attack there, and it goes out for a Scottish throw-in over on the Scotland right.
No, they've looked so dangerous, haven't they? I know, the John McGinn one earlier in the game. As soon as they pick it up, they're away in numbers. Depay does brilliantly. He's got options again, left, right and centre. He's underhit the pass. If he hits it in front of Frimpong, then it is a chance. They have looked dangerous on the counter.
No goals as yet. If you're just joining us, Scotland coming closest so far. Ryan Christie's header tipped onto his own bar by the Dutch keeper Mark Flekken. And will be a Scotland throw-in over on the right-hand side. It's bowled in field by Porteous, flicked on by McGinn, but it breaks the Netherlands' way. Xavi Simons in the centre circle, out to Frimpong on this near side. Two of the assist kings in Germany this season, Frimpong and Simons. And it's with Cody Gakpo over on the far side. And his big move to Liverpool from PSV Eindhoven last season, as Van Dijk shifts it to Gertruda on this near side, onto the touchline for Frimpong. He's rolling it in field, but given away. FIFA took his eyes off it. Now it's with Billy Gilmour in the centre circle. Out to Tierney. Forward it comes to Christie. Christie then back to McTominay. Out to Robertson. Then back to Tierney. Scotland up against the 6th best team in the world right now, according to the FIFA rankings, which at times can be taken with a pinch of salt, but there's no doubt the Dutch are back. World Cup quarter-finalists in Qatar. Came so close to eliminating Argentina, who went on to win it. A penalty shootout in Lusail. As Ake gets it away a little bit panically, but he's done well in the end. It drops to Frimpong, who turns it back to his keeper. And out to this near side of his box, Flekken, as he dumps it forward, and it's controlled by Memphis Depay. Almost on 25, nothing each. Out to Frimpong on the right for the Dutch. Forward it comes, it's cut out by McTominay though. Just as it looked like it was going to come Reinder's way. McGinn goes down, foul by Ake, free kick Scotland. It is 0-0 in Amsterdam.
That's brilliant from McGinn. He knows Ake's going to come through the back of him, and he's got nowhere to go. He doesn't have an option on the ball, John McGinn. He does really well to win that free kick. But again, you know, just the composure from Scotland. The one thing I would say, the ball when it comes up to Lawrence Shankland, the link-up play is great. Can we get the midfield runners going beyond them?
McGinn with a run forwards, latching on to Patterson's ball. Patterson bursting a gut to get up in support. McGinn tries to get it back to him, but it was read well by Van Dijk, who clears only as far as Gilmour. Out to John McGinn on that right-hand side. Just holding off Reinders, finds Patterson, scoops it back to the edge of the centre circle for Jack Hendry. Scored his first international goal against the Dutch in that friendly in Faro before the Euros the last time around. Robertson to Tierney, and now it's with Scott McTominay. He was surely fouled. He was there in the midfield by Mats Fifer, and it will be a Scotland free kick left to centre. An opportunity here again to get numbers forward.
Yeah, they just have to make sure that they've shut the back door as well with that counter-attack, the threat.
Free kick here for Scotland then. Billy Gilmour is over it alongside Ryan Christie. It's a line of players all around about the edge of the D. Shankland's in behind the defensive line at the moment. A very high line by the Dutch. Christie takes the free kick. He's dinked it out wide left for Robertson. Swings his boot at it. It's really deep. Gilmour heading it back to to Gilmour at the edge of the box by Tierney. It's now with McGinn. There was going to be an opportunity for Billy Gilmour there. It's out with Patterson. Swings the ball in towards McTominay, headed away. Gilmour back towards the edge of the box. Shankland trying to take it down. McTominay's in there too. Hendry heads it forward. It's towards Shankland. He just can't get anything onto it, and the home team are able to clear. But Scotland come again, looking to keep the pressure on.
I think there could have been an opportunity for Billy Gilmour had the referee not run just right across his path.
Ball's played up into the box. Porteous is still up there. Flicks it out to Robertson, level with the penalty spot. Back to Tierney, first time into the feet of Christie, couldn't control it, and now the Netherlands are coming forward in the counter. Wijnaldum has it, rolls it out to Siemens on this near side. And it's poor from Xavi Siemens, it's straight to Tierney. And now it's with Gilmour out to Robertson, back to Christie on this near side, and he sweeps it back to Angus Gunn, who clears first time with the right foot. Almost on 28. Netherlands 0, Scotland 0. Here in the Johan Cruyff Arena. It's with Robertson. Around about 56,000 capacity inside the stadium. They're just a little bit short of that tonight. Really good attendance for this friendly match. It's McTominay, the disguised ball forward, looking for Shankland here. Truda gets there and rolls it back to his keeper. Flekken, little short ball forward to Fifer, round about his own penalty spot. The Dutch trying to play themselves out here, and Flecken's long ball finds Cody Gakpo over on the far side. Does well under pressure from Patterson to go back to Ake. Now collected by Thierry Reinders of Milan. And now the chance for Wijnaldum to get an attack going. Out to Gakpo on the left. Back into his own half though for Reinders, who switches it left to right of the circle for Geertruida. Never closer to the half-hour mark. No goals. It's Xavi Siemens collecting the Dutch number 7. Back the way it comes to Geertruida. Out to this near side for Wiever. Now with Frimpong. Battling with Frimpong is Robertson. Puts the challenge in, and it goes out for a Dutch throw on this near side. The Netherlands right. Frimpong's over it. He was born in this city, Jeremy Frimpong, but he speaks with a Mancunian accent. As Porteous picks up to the edge of his own box, finds Patterson, who goes back to his goalkeeper. Gunn elects to take a touch and then clears with the second one with the right foot, and McGinn with a wonderful ball in field to McTominay. It might have bounced off his hand there in the end, and he's ended up giving away the free kick for the home team just to the left of the centre circle.
That was a great pick out from Angus Gunn. Right to John McGinn. It didn't look like it was going to get there, but it did. And John McGinn, as you say, great little touch inside. And the Dutch managed to get the free kick and mount this attack.
And the referee's infuriating the home fans now. There's a foul on McTominay just in the wake of that Dutch free kick. And I think the card came out there, did it? One of the Dutch players has perhaps complained a little bit too much there, because the Belgian referees booked Memphis Depay for that.
I think it was a follow through. He does really well, takes a touch, fakes to come inside, takes it outside onto the right foot, but he overruns it slightly, and Jack Hendry gets a tackle. And I'm just getting a chance to see it again. It's because he leads with the studs, but it doesn't go through. The ball to Jack Hendry. I think he can feel a little bit unlucky there, Memphis Depay.
Yeah, you get a little more leeway in friendlies when it comes to fouls and cards being dished out, but it's one for both teams. And Scott McTominay's been fouled again. It's to the left of the centre circle. Scotland have a free kick again on this near side. And Steve Clarke down there at the edge of his technical area, hands behind his back. He'll be very pleased with what he's seen from his players. 31 in, 0-0. Patterson a little bit short with the pass there to Gilmour, but it doesn't end up in a dangerous area. It's Ake who picks up on the far side. Quick give and go with Reinders. Low ball, side foot forward to Memphis Depay, taking on Tierney, who's been pulled over to that far side. It's now with Ake. Little ball back to Reinders. Switches it to the right hand side of the centre circle for Geertruida. Forward to Xavi Simons. Out to Frimpong on the touchline. A bit more of the ball now. The Dutch. Frimpong goes down. Fell by his old teammate at Celtic, Ryan Christie. And he stayed down as well. That's Frimpong. Fairly innocuous. I'm not sure if he's caught him in the Achilles or something that has resulted in Frimpong staying on the deck. He's a backup now. Has he got a sore one?
It looked like he just a little bit after pushed him to the ground. You know,
I think he's caught in his boots caught in the turf, I think, and it's ended up in him landing awkwardly. Here come the Dutch with Memphis Depay. Oh, that might be a penalty. No, the ref says no. Well, I think it might be Patterson's challenge to the edge of the box. There is VAR in operation, despite the fact it's just a friendly game. But
It's a dreadful dive.
Was it McTominay who was the Scotland player? But yeah, I've seen a replay of it there. Cody Gakpo was the home player who went down inside the Scotland box. It stays 0-0. And it's game on. And yeah, just seen a really good replay of it there. And it's pretty embarrassing from Gakpo.
That's a disgrace. That's an absolute disgrace. It's not even... Look, maybe he's thinking there might be a bit of contact coming. Oh my God. Honestly, that's a terrible dive.
Long ball forward, cut out by Tierney. It's now with Gilmour, who finds Christie. See, this is one of the best performances I've seen from Scotland against a top-ranked nation away from home in a long time.
Yeah, they've looked really comfortable, used the ball well, great composure. I have to say the Dutch have looked dangerous when they've gone on the counter.
Patterson's given it away in the far side. Here is Gakpo, slipping it into the box. Low ball, but it's right through to Angus Gunn. It's fair to say that the natives aren't impressed with what they're watching tonight.
No, I think they've got opportunities to play the ball forward quicker, and they're not playing at that tempo. They're making great runs, and there's chances to go and exploit Scotland at the back. They just aren't playing the ball. There's a bit, maybe too much side to side for the fans in the stadium here. And add to the fact, you know, we're praising Scotland, and rightly so. Scotland look really comfortable. They look, you know, on a par with these players in terms of their technical ability, which is something you don't often say.
There's a chance. McTominay, low ball out to Christie, early ball into the box, and it's over the bar from McGinn. He met it 6 yards out under pressure from Van Dijk. He's put it over, and it stays Netherlands 0, Scotland 0 with just a bit under 11 minutes to play of the 45.
That's well worked again down the left hand side. McTominay driving, waiting for that moment, drawn in. I think it was Vifa, and then playing the ball to Christie. John McGinn makes a run, and you're hoping that he can get his left foot on it. He feels like he has to go with the outside of the right.
There's a chance again. McGinn forward, Christie, Van Dijk in the stretch, can't clear. Christie back to Gilmour, rolls it out again to Christie, gets the cross in, but can't find a teammate, and it sails behind for the goal kick, and it remains goalless here in Amsterdam.
I think Shankland maybe runs into McTominay there. They're trying to cross over. Yeah. Ryan Christie, when he picks it up, he's in the box, he's at the angle. I think he can score from there. He's got the ability. Go for goal, hope that one of your teammates gets in at that back post. If they don't, then it's a tough one for the defenders, the goalkeeper to judge. Just aim for that back post. Well, never know, it can creep in.
Yeah, how many times have we seen Ryan Christie score goals from that kind of range, you know, even further out with that left foot? There's Shankland, but he was in an offside position. It'll be a free kick to the Dutch. No Premiership action. Sorry, James.
No, I was on the Ryan Christie one. He's clearly clipping it to the back post for McTominay or Shankland to go and attack. But as you say, how many times have we seen him?
Yeah.
Should go for goal in that situation. And he is capable of finding the back of the net.
You know, Premiership action tomorrow, but the lower leagues are all playing. Of course, Challenge Cup final to come as well. Dundee United, Cali Thistle, Arbroath, Partick Thistle, Ayr, Queen's Park, Morton, Dunfermline. Falkirk can win League One tomorrow. He will be there. They're up against already relegated Edinburgh City. It's a foul by McGinn, and he too is yellow carded. Little professional foul on Cody Gakpo.
Yeah, it's frustration from John McGinn. The ball comes in. He's so good at taking the ball in, protecting it. Ake takes it off him, and I think it's just frustration on John McGinn's part. He just pulls Gakpo back, and it's a silly yellow, really. I know it's a friendly, but you still want everyone to be on edge and get into tackles if needs be.
Free kick to the Netherlands. Xavi Simons is over it. It's just before the midway point of the Scotland half. The Dutch crowd trying to get their team going here. No goals as yet. This is an opportunity for the home team. Simons is over it. And a group of players around the 18, in comes the free kick, but it's dreadful, and it comes all the way through for a goal kick.
And the players are looking round at Jack Henry, because every single one of them, apart from Jack Henry, stepped up, sprinted up. Henry is caught. I think he's, distracted by Van Dijk. He goes in, and it looked like he was playing everyone on, and all the Scotland players are turning around to Jack and saying, "What are you doing? You're supposed to squeeze up." But I think he was panicked because it was Van Dijk he was picking up.
No damage done. Goal kick. Gunn takes short to his left for Tierney.
There's always one, Liam. There's always one.
Getting all those people in the same wavelength at the same time must be difficult. He was out for a throw-in to Scotland down this near side to be taken by Robertson, about midway inside Dutch territory. With just over 7 minutes of the first half to play, plus any stoppages. There have been a couple of injury breaks, so a minute or so added on. Steve Clark down there, he's the finger up to the temple on his head, talking to Jack Henry. Always think. As Tierney with a long ball forward is pretty poor, and it goes out for a goal kick, which will be taken quickly here by Flekken. Short to Van Dijk, and now into the feet of Reinders. To Ake, back to Reinders on that far side. He's got Gilmour all over him. He's been forced back towards his own goal here, but he's dealt with it really well as the AC Milan midfielder. He knocks it to Gertruda, who's striding up towards halfway. Forward it comes to Wiever. Loads in support here. Out to the right, Frimpong, forward in the middle in orange. Frimpong back to Wiever. And then rolls it to Reinders. Sizes up the Scotland box. Plays it short to Wiever. Out to Frimpong. The right angle of the Scotland box. He's attacking Robertson here, Frimpong. Checks back the way. Finds Wiever. And then Reinders. The pressure here from the home team. Scotland just trying to hold their positions. Frimpong. He's rolling it back to Reinders. Finds Xavi Simons. Back to Gertruda and then to Van Dijk, who's got space to maraud into, as he loves to do. Out to Gakpo, his club mate on the left-hand side. Rolls it infield. Reinders takes a touch and courage to shoot, which he does! And what a goal! Tijuni Reinders finds the top left corner, away from the grasp of Angus Gunn. And despite a promising 40 minutes from Scotland, they find themselves behind you?
No, there's not, and you feel that, you know, 5 or 6 minutes ago we were speaking about how the crowd were frustrated because it was side to side and the Dutch waiting for that perfect opening. And I have to say, you know, it's 20-25 yards, it's not exactly a perfect opening, but there's not enough pressure on the ball, and it's a brilliant strike, really clean strike. Angus Gunn at full stretch, can't quite get there to keep it out. And it just looked like it was going to be another Dutch move that was maybe going to break down. I was going to be trying to be too perfect. It's the first shot on target, and Reinders finds the top corner. It's a brilliant goal, and you feel really feel for Scotland because they've performed so well in this half.
Important not to let the heads drop, because these top nations, they can score goals in gluts. The game could be gone very quickly. So Koeman down there with an appreciative nod. When he saw that ball fly in, he was capable of spectacular goals himself. Scored the goal which helped Barcelona win the European Cup in 1992 at Wembley. Of course, he was celebrated by the Scotland support for a particularly famous goal on an infamous night for England in the 94 World Cup qualifiers at the Kuip in Rotterdam. Scored from a free kick. Graham Taylor lost his job, and England, of course, didn't make that World Cup directly off the back of that result. And Koeman was full of appreciation at Reinders' goal there. It's a stunner for his first, for his country, in his 7th cap. Here's John McGinn for Scotland, though. It's a long ball forward for Scott McTominay. In behind the defence, the ball just wouldn't sit for him. He moves it back to the edge of the area for Shankland. Didn't get the requisite touch, but Gilmour's won it back. Right hand side of the box, he's won the corner. Good response this by the Scots. 42 on the clock. They trail 1-0, but they have a corner.
Yeah, and it was that run that you're looking for. McTominay going beyond Shankland. Great pick out with John McGinn. Billy Gilmour does great when the ball breaks down to pick it up again. And you're right, you know, it's important that they don't let their heads go down. They certainly don't look like they have.
McGinn out to take, in swinger with the left foot for McGinn. He's earning his 63rd cap this evening. What can he come up with here? Into the box it comes, it's headed to the edge of the box. Gilmour tries to knock it towards goal, cut out by Gertruda. And the Netherlands able to clear. Robertson happy to accept a throw-in on this near side. It's been a pretty even game, you would have to say, across the first half so far. Scotland will feel they deserve to be level at the moment, and but for a wonder save, they would have certainly scored the opening goal this evening, as it's put out of play down this left-hand side for the Scotland throw-in just by the corner flag, as they look to finish the first half strongly here and try and find an equaliser. Robertson takes the throw-in, bowls it back to Tierney. First time back to Robertson. Poor touch though, allows Frimpong onto it, and he knocks it back off. Scotland player now for a Dutch throw-in on this near side. That's the thing, James. The Netherlands haven't really been hitting the levels that Koeman will want them to hit, but they've always, all these nations, they've all got a moment of magic in them, and that's exactly what that was.
Yeah, you know, as you say, Scotland have been excellent, and I think that you have to still, you know, give them credit for that. Performance has been really good, but you're right, you know, when you play against these teams, you could see the threat was coming, whether it was going to be that final pass. If you remember, you know, in the long build up to the goal, Reinders is over in the left back area, shows great composure to turn, and they build their attack from there. Okay, it goes right, goes left, comes back into him. It's such a clean strike, and these nations have that ability. They haven't been at their best, but they've still looked a threat when they've gone forward.
Reinders was on the receiving end at Tannadice last season. It was like a heck of a long time ago now. Of course, they spectacularly turned that tie round, as the Dutch did against the Scots here in that playoff 21 years ago. They've been back here since then. Scotland, they lost 3-0. And this has been a good performance, but they do find themselves a goal down, as Gertruda rolls it to the goal scorer, Reinders, who goes back to his goalkeeper in the final minute of the first half, of the 45 at least. Flecken goes long, looking for Gakpo in behind. Guns come way out to the edge of his box there at the left angle. He's done well, actually. It was good sweeping up at the back by Angus Gunn. He puts it out for a throw-in on this near side to the Dutch.
Yeah, I thought he was going to come out and make a mess of it, if I'm being honest, because he comes really early and then the ball looks like it's going to drop for Gakpo and he's able to take a good touch. He doesn't, and then Angus Gunn clears it up very well.
1 minute added. Netherlands leading 1-0. Porteous, the long clearance down the right hand side, is going to drift right through to Van Dijk. Certainly plenty in the Scottish performance to suggest they can score here tonight. And they won't need to change too much coming out for the second half. I think it's fair to say they've drifted slightly in the final 15 minutes of the first half. The first half an hour was, as I was saying at the time, was good in a away performance against one of the giants of European football, as we've seen in a long time. We'll go back to the win in Zagreb to find a victory over a top 10 ranked side away from home, as Hendry loses out. Covering's Tierney though, and they were almost in again. There was Mats Wiefer this time, bursting into the penalty area, and Tierney was able to deal with it. Do not want to be conceding a second goal here before the break. There's Gakpo. Now Memphis Depay, left-hand side of the area. This is ominous. Memphis away from the challenge. Scotland trying desperately to close him down. His first effort's blocked. Pulls it back to the penalty spot. McTominay to Gilmour, who was then fouled by Frimpong. It would have been a free kick, but it's the half-time whistle instead. And half-time possibly coming at a good time for Steve Clarke's men, as the Scotland manager makes his way up the tunnel. And way down below us, it was Ronald Koeman, his counterpart, who was celebrating though to Juni Reinder's first international goal. The Milan midfielder took a touch. He'd probably too much time to take the touch before dispatching a wonderful effort from 25 yards into the top left corner. It's a magnificent goal. It's the kind of goal that sides like the Netherlands can score against you at any time, and Reinders did that, because apart from that, it's been a pretty positive first half for Scotland. Ryan Christie with a header which was tipped onto the bar by the Dutch goalkeeper. Flecken was as close as they came. He couldn't get much closer. It was a world-class save by the Brentford goalkeeper to deny Ryan Christie. Shankland had a header which looped over the bar. There have been other really positive attacking moments for Scotland as well. They're all hitting their straps tonight. Gilmour, McGinn, Christie all look a threat as well. But at half-time here in the Johan Cruyff Arena in Amsterdam, it is Netherlands 1, Scotland 0.
On digital radio,
online at BBC Sport Scotland,
or play BBC Radio Scotland Extra on your smart speaker, or BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound.
There's no substitute.
C2C welcomes some of today's biggest stars in country music to Glasgow. Join me, Ricky Ross, across 2 episodes as I bring you reflection and interviews from the festival.
The genre, it's more successful than it's ever been.
Hear the stories behind the songs from Brothers Osborne, Priscilla Block, Jake Owen and Carly Pearce.
I have the honor to present you with the CMA International Country Broadcaster Award.
And headliners Brad Paisley, Kane Brown and Old Dominion.
Hey, we're Old Dominion. You're listening to Another Country with Ricky Ross.
Listen now on BBC Sounds.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland, the first of 4 warm-up matches for Steve Clarke's side ahead of the Euros in Germany. Half-time, Netherlands 1, Scotland 0. Next up, at home to Northern Ireland. Full coverage on Sports Sound on Tuesday evening. Then we are away to Gibraltar. That's on the 3rd of June. At home to Finland on the 7th of June. And then it's all eyes on Germany. Our first game against the hosts on the 14th of June. Full coverage of all these games on Sports Sound. So much to look forward to. I would say, Willie Miller, despite the scoreline in that first half, so much to be excited about in terms of that Scotland performance in the first 45.
It's been top notch, isn't it? It's been first class. You know, it's been a team performance where everybody knows exactly what they've got to do. They haven't to give the Dutch a moment's peace, so much so that they're looking really ragged, the home side, not flowing the way you would expect them to flow with the quality that they've got out there. But you know, that's down to the tactics that Steve Clarke has employed, and the fact that they all know their job, and they're all taking that team plan you know, and really making the Dutch look a very ordinary side at times. In fact, you know, forced them into making unforced errors. So I think Stevie Clarke can be more than pleased with the performance. Obviously, the scoreline, and I mean, it is a fantastic strike, although it's not right in the top corner. I think Angus might be looking at it and saying if he's moved his feet a little bit quicker, he might have been able to get something on it, because it's in about head height rather than top corner height. But at the same time, it's a fabulous strike. But you know, Scotland having the opportunity with the header, you know, a good save. You've got to say a very good save from Flecken in goal, just putting it onto the crossbar. And a really intelligent move, and you know, pinpoint cross. And you know, I think as far as chances are concerned, then Scotland have certainly, you know, created that chance. A little bit unfortunate that it didn't find the back of the net, but it's a brilliant delivery from Gilmour, who I think has been excellent. You know, he's not really sitting in that deep position. You know, the midfield players, you don't feel as someone that in the midfield, Gilmour in particular, has been tasked with just sitting there and being, you know, the option, the release valve.
Yeah.
He's getting up, he's putting players under pressure, he's taking part in the forward movement. And you've got Shanklin up top on his own, but he's been well supported by Christie, and Christie's so unlucky with that header. Great delivery into the box, timed it well, good header as well, very good save though too, and to lose a goal so late on in that first half, a first half which must be given Steve Clarke a lot of positive thoughts, you know, to be able to talk to the team at half time and take that into the second half. And if you're looking forward, and you're looking forward to the Euros, then I think if Scotland can play the way they have played in the first 45 minutes, then there's a lot of optimism there for, you know, these games that they're going to play against top quality opposition, and the possibility is truly there for them to qualify out that group.
Very, very encouraging so far. The stats back that up, as Willie was saying. Possession 54% for the home side. 4 shots for Scotland to the home side's 2. Both have had 1 on target. Just the 1 corner that fell Scotland's way. I wait to see a replay of the Dutch goal. A great strike, but here we're seeing it now. Actually, Will, I'm just looking at it here, so we're seeing it on the screen here.
Listen, he's hit it well.
He has hit it well, yeah.
I think it's the power that beats Angus rather than it being right in the top corner.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a little bit above head height. Maybe I'm being a bit hard on the goalkeeper, because, you know, it is a fabulous strike, great power behind it as well. But I'm just pointing out that it's not really right up there in the corner. No. Perhaps, maybe, if I'm ultra critical, that Angus might have just been able to get something on it. But it's almost past him before he can adjust to it. Maybe a little bit of pressure on the ball as well. I don't think there was enough pressure on the ball. Just, you know, defenders sitting back, midfield players sitting back, rather than, you know, chasing out and hunting it and try to get a block on it. I think it's Billy Gilmour that's maybe sitting a little bit too deep. If he identifies the threat a bit earlier, he could maybe have got a block on it that would have stopped it. And the Dutch really haven't offered much to me. I don't think, when you're looking at them, that it's been a top class performance from them. But again, you know, I think Scotland take a lot of credit with the tactics that Steve Clarke has employed, not allowing them to settle, not giving them any time on the ball, and forcing them into quite substantial errors at times.
Yeah, just the 1 shot on target for the Dutch, that one that hit the back of the net. It was a great strike. I just wonder perhaps if it took Angus Gunn a bit by surprise. It was just above his fingertips there when he dived to his right hand side. But Faddy, so many positives in that first half, and let's talk about that move. We've seen multiple replays. Fantastic play from Billy Gilmour, and Christie arriving at the back post, denied just by a totally brilliant save.
Yeah, there was so many good moves and good opportunities to put a ball in like that. The quality is then in the delivery for Billy Gilmour. And Ryan Christie, there's nothing else he can do. I mean, it's a good header, he times it well, he gets good power on it. It's just an outstanding save. You know, and barring that, Scotland would have been in front. They've had opportunities down both sides to put balls across, and Scotland have looked really good. I said it during the commentary. They're on a par technically with the Dutch for me, and that that says it all about this team, this squad of players, and the players that we have, that they're comfortable on the ball. There's no panic, they're no rushing it, no forcing the ball forward. They're taking their time, they're playing their own way, and at times the Netherlands have found it tough to get through or get on and put pressure on the ball, because Scotland have been so composed, shown threatening signs down both sides, and it has been a good performance. I get your point on the goal. I don't think it is right in the corner. I don't know if Angus Gunn's put off with where he hits it. Maybe you'd expect that to go to the opposite side. I don't know if he's put off with the fact that he's very close to the post and taken a little bit by surprise. It might be one, these goalkeepers, they think they can save everything, but he might be one in there saying he could have maybe got a little bit closer to it.
Yeah, you're right, but you're right, Farry. Maybe that is just a bit harsh to myself here. We're just watching it again. It's hit with such power. It's not that high into there, and you're right. He was very, very close to the post. Faddy, have a chat with Willie about the headline team news was the start for Lawrence Shankland. How do you think he's done?
I think he's done well. I think he's linked the game well. I think that obviously he's gave the ball away a couple of times, but that's going to happen. And he's tried to get himself into positions, and we spoke about before the game about the way that Hearts are geared up to get Lawrence Shankland chances. He's been involved in the build-up play, and when it goes wide, they are looking to find him clearly, because he's a brilliant finisher. I think he's done well. I think that as the game develops, McTominay makes a run beyond. I think that still has to happen. I think that he can, come and look to link, and then there's space for McGinn, McTominay, Gilmour, who's popped up at times, Christie, to go and make that run beyond. But he's starting a game that maybe a lot of people felt maybe he wouldn't, and he's still having to adjust to being a starter in this team. So I think Shankland's done fine. I think everybody, there's been pass marks all over the pitch for me for Scotland, and the Dutch have looked dangerous with their movement and their counter-attack especially. But all in all, I think that Scotland have coped really well. And you're talking about a guy that scored a goal, 20-25 yards, a great strike, and that's been the difference in the game.
Yeah, I mean, totally agree with you. I think Scotland more or less bossed the game. Looked a little bit suspect when the Dutch hit them in the break, but just a little bit. They've coped with it extremely well. It's a magnificent strike, and that can happen at that level. We all know that. These players, the Dutch players playing at the level and the quality they've got, you think you're doing okay in some of these games, then all of a sudden, bang, the roof falls in on top of you. Do you think in the wide areas, I'm just looking at Patterson and Robertson, I don't think the quality of crosses into the box has been good enough from them. I think they've got forward, but at times Andy in particular, I think, has leaned back and put an awful lot of kind of a looping crosses towards the back post and not really picking anyone out. So I think looking at the first half, that is an area that could be exploited, but the quality of cross has got to be better into the box. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think they said that early Nathan Patterson, his first 40 forward, he's just got to flash that across goal. Shankland's getting a great position, and then he had another opportunity where he hits Van Dijk, and maybe look, having been in that position, you're probably thinking no so much about finding one of your players, as crazy as that sounds, but avoiding Van Dijk, try and take him out of the equation. Andy Robertson, the couple he's hit to the back post, I think it's the right option. It's just been overhit. There've been bodies round there. It is the target. Just maybe a bit tentative. Is it because you're trying to miss Van Dijk? Potentially, because he is such an imposing figure. You see them in the lineup, he's way taller than the goalkeeper, and you don't normally see that. It's normally the goalie that's the biggest in the team. So I think that there has been opportunities, but I think overall the positive is the play to get there. It's not been get it forward, win second balls, crosses from difficult positions. They've worked it into these areas brilliantly, and the only thing that's been missing then has been that final ball. Even the Ryan Christie one, where he's in the box, just whip that to the far post and go for goal. And you've got McTominay and Shankland that will go and attack it. You've got defenders there that can put the goalkeeper off. He can't wait. He can't make a move until the ball goes past the last player. But certainly I think the overall play has been excellent, and now it's amazing that we're in this situation to say, could the cross be a bit better? And I totally agree with you. The players will be in there saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's phenomenal. The performance has been excellent.
It's been so encouraging. Really enjoyed the game, Willie. We spoke before and we touched on it there about Shanklin getting the start tonight. I guess there'll be a change in up front at some point in the second half. What else do you think Steve Clarke will be looking at in terms of just assessing what certain players can offer this team, looking at potential changes?
Well, I think when you look at the first half, I think I've been impressed with Billy Gilmour and the fact that he just hasn't, sat deep and been that valve for Scotland. I think he's actually been much more forward the part than I've seen him in recent international games, and I think that's a good point. I think the midfield have been very good. I think they've hunted down the Dutch, and the two wing backs as well, pushing forward when they're not in possession, has made it really difficult for them, and it's forced them into making mistakes. At times the Dutch have looked a pretty ordinary side. They've been given easy passes away that they haven't been finding the target, and it's only really been in the transition that you feel a little bit nervous that they might be able to open us up at times. But even some of the forward passing hasn't been good enough from them when they have had the opportunities. But I think when your midfield are pushing forward, which you want them to do to try and support Shanklin, then it might leave a bit of space for them to occupy, particularly when the passing move breaks down and they get a bit of time to hit you in the break.
I just wonder if we will see Lewis Ferguson make some sort of appearance in this second half. Scotland very, very unlucky to be behind. It was a very, very nice goal from Reinders in 40 minutes. So the Netherlands won, Scotland 0. I can see the players just in the tunnel now. Billy Gilmour just having a wee stretch there. What a first half he has had. What a prospect he is for the national team. Let's get back now for second half commentary. The Netherlands against Scotland with James McFadden and Liam McLeod.
Yeah, Scotland trying to end this run of 5 matches without a victory. If they don't win this one, they're going to have to come from behind to do so. And the first time they've gone 6 without a win since 2007 into 2008. A run which began in Tbilisi, included the heartbreaking defeat to the Italians and the start of the George Burley tenure. But there are always caveats to that when you consider the standard of opponent that Scotland have been coming up against. It's certainly the first time Steve Clarke's gone 5 without a win as the Belgian referee gets the second half underway. No changes at the moment. There will be loads in the second half from both camps, I would have thought. And it is the Dutch who get the second half underway right to left as we watch from the back of the main here in their famous orange colours. The black flashes, Scotland in their new kit, navy blue with white and yellow, and it's a chip ball forward by the Dutch to the halfway line. There's a whistle blown. I'm not sure exactly what that's for. It's upset Austin McPhee down below us. Clearly feels Scotland should have had an advantage as Hendry picks up. James,
they did. The referee's given offside, but the ball comes into Ryan Christie. He plays a brilliant little reverse header, and Scotland then go on the attack. So the frustration is that the referee's not allowed the play to go on.
Scotland with Angus Gunn in goal. It's Porteous, Hendry and Tierney, Patterson and Robertson, Gilmour, McTominay in the middle with McGinn and Christie, and Shankland up front, as it was at the start. And it was an encouraging performance. Hendry rolls it to Porteous and he turns it back to his goalkeeper. Gunn takes a touch and launches it forward out to the left-hand side. It's too high for Robertson, and it sails over his head and out for a throw into the Netherlands over on the far side, to be taken here by Jeremy Frimpong. These two nations, their most famous meetings, major tournaments, 3 times it happened. World Cup in '78, famously. European Championship finals in '92 and '96. As McTominay picks up and turns it back the way onto the halfway line for Tierney. It's back to Hendry. Sweeps it to the right of the centre circle in Dutch territory for McGinn. Out to Patterson on this near side. Rolls it back to John McGinn. He's looking for the big switch out to the left. A brilliant ball by McGinn. He's found Robertson. Robertson with the early delivery into the box for McTominay. Takes it down. Shankland's waiting. McTominay shoots. Oh, he waited too long. His efforts blocked by the Dutch goal scorer Reinders. and it comes right through to the goalkeeper Flecken, who holds on. It's a glorious opportunity for Scott McTominay. He could do no wrong in the qualifying campaign for Germany last year, but either hit it or give it to Shankland.
One touch too many. You know, he delays, he fakes. It's brilliant play again. Switch of play is excellent out to the left-hand side. The ball into the path of McTominay is excellent again. And you're right, Shankland peels off. He can lay it back, but he goes himself. He creates the space. He creates the opportunity. And that last little touch, that last little feint is what ends the opportunity for him. It's a brilliant, brilliant chance for Scott McTominay and for Scotland to get back level. But he should do better in that situation there.
Still 1-0 to the Dutch. Scotland have started the second half pretty well. Here's McTominay driving forward, shifting it out to McGinn. The right-hand side, level the edge of the D. Looks up at the Dutch box. John McGinn, he's now cutting infield into a more central position. Left-footed ball out to the left-hand side. Robertson cuts it back up into the air. Ryan Christie with his back to goal has to force it back outside the area. Hendry for Robertson, to Tierney, to Robertson, to Christie. Robertson to the left angle of the box for McTominay, trying to turn his man. It's well defended initially by Vifar. It's pulled back into the area by Robertson, and Holland get it clear only as far as Gilmour, who shoots at the edge of the area, and it's down into the ground and right through to the goalkeeper. 1-0 it remains to the Netherlands on 48.5, but a really good positive start to the second half by Scotland.
Oh, it's been excellent. You know, again, it's down that left hand side. Robertson, McTominay overruns it. Robertson managed to keep it alive, and when he cuts it back, it's just in front of Ryan Christie, who's lunging at it, and he misses it. And Billy Gilmour again picking up a ball at the edge of the box. He will get a chance to shoot because he's there, he's in the position. He just hasn't been able to get the first touch right to set himself for the shot, but he keeps picking up those positions at the edge of the box.
Nathan Ake flicking it infield to Reinders, steps away from McTominay, rolls it to Xavi Simons, facing Tierney. Frimpong driving into the box in support. Still it's Simons over on that far side, turns it back the way into the midfield. It's Vifar, now it's Xavi Simons. He's trying to get it back there off Reinders, and it all breaks down, and it's picked up by Christie wide on the left hand side of the box, but he runs into trouble and they have it back, the Dutch. Simons at the edge of the area, rolls it to Memphis. Brilliant turn, oh what a save, brilliant goalkeeping from Angus Gunn. Got down low to his left to keep out what looked like a certain Memphis Depay goal. It stays Netherlands 1, Scotland 0.
Oh, it's an incredible save. I have to say, the skill from Memphis Depay is magnificent. The ball into his feet, he fakes as if he's going to step onto his right, just lets it roll across his body, gives him all the time in the world to pick his spot, and Angus Gunn stays big, waits for that reaction save, and it's a great save down to his left hand side. Not a lot of power on the shot from Depay, but it's still a brilliant save from Angus Gunn at full stretch. Kieran Tierney following up to clear the ball as well, but the skill from Depay was excellent.
Yeah,
well matched with the save by Angus Gunn.
From Scotland up the other end, Shank at the edge of the box, back to McGinn, who shoots and draws a good save out of Flecken. McGinn has it again, left foot ball in, there's a header. Oh, what a chance again, Ryan Christie. Well, it's come in from the right-hand side of the box, a little chip to the left of the penalty spot. Christie, who forced a wonderful save out of Flecken in the first half, can't get this one on target, and it stays Netherlands 1, Scotland 0. But chances at both ends.
Yeah, it's a great strike from John McGinn, just on the right-hand side, just inside the box, catching it at the half volley at the near post of Flecken, who I have to say makes a brilliant save. And then the chip ball to the back post for Christie is probably just beyond him. He can't get the direction that he would like. He does get the head on it, he just can't get it towards goal. But another good positive sign from Scotland.
Ronaldo though finds Depay, and now it's Xavi Simons. It's opened up a little bit this game. It's still with the Dutch number 7. Finds Depay. Simons goes down, claims he was fouled. The referee agrees. Free kick to the home team. Central position, midway inside the Scotland half.
Yeah, he plays it inside. Simons continues his run. It's just a body check from Kieran Tierney. The referee's right there. He gives the foul. I'm not sure there's a whole lot in it, but it's right in front of the referee. It's an easy decision. Just barges him over, Kieran Tierney.
Well, the ref having to stop the free kick being taken here, or at least bring it back, because the Dutch have a man down, and it is Mats Vifar. Just to the edge of the Scotland box he went down. Didn't exactly see what was going on there. He's back on his feet. A little incident off the ball there. James getting a chance to see a replay. He's just collided with Kieran Tierney by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think he makes a run for the early free kick to try and get behind Tierney and Hendry. Tierney just steps across and blocks a run, and Wiefer hits the deck. Not a lot in it. I don't think it's a foul. I think he's trying to make the most of it.
Uncontested drop ball is the outcome in the Dutch favour. It's been pretty open since the interval. And the ref's not happy with Reinders for some reason, and he asks him to do the bounce ball again. And it's back with Gertruda, who rolls it back to the edge of his own box for his keeper. Flecken denying John McGinn. It was a fabulous hit by McGinn, and you're given what he does in the Scotland shirt, James, you were expecting that to ripple the net.
Yeah, he caught it well. Great power on it, great direction, bouncing as well in front of Flecken, who he dealt with it. He looked really, really confident, springing across, alert to it. And it's a really good save, because it was well hit by John McGinn. And as you say, nothing surprised you with John McGinn.
Well, it's a real error from Flecken. He's given it to Shanklin, back to the edge of the box. The shot, the deflection, the corner only. Gilmour at the edge of the D, shoots for goal. He's had a few openings tonight. Again, it just looked as though they're getting into the right positions here, Scotland, but in the attacking third, it's just not sitting for them.
Yeah, it's brilliant from Gilmour. Initially won it back.
Yeah, short corner, McGinn to Christie. Back out to McGinn, looks up, left foot cross ball towards the back end of it's flicked half away by Frimpong. Here's Kieran Tierney, level with the penalty spot, looking for space to drill the ball into the box. He does, but it's straight to Memphis Depay, who clears. Patterson wins it back, finds Christie's twisting and turning, trying to free himself of Wiefer. Then Tierney with a long ball into the box, looking for Shanklin, headed away by Ake, and back to Flecken, the goalkeeper. He's made two excellent saves tonight, the one particularly from Ryan Christie, but he's breathing a big sigh of relief there, because his little ball out of his own box went straight into Scotland possession.
Yeah, but it was Billy Gilmour, because he's not picking up Wijnaldum, but he's aware of him, and it's Reinders that goes to get the ball off the goalkeeper, so he just gives him about 5 yards, makes it look like he's going to drop off. As soon as the ball's on its way, he wins it back, and he does really well. Shanklin, I don't know if he could have maybe got his shot away first time. He lays it into the path of Gilmour. I don't know if it's maybe just slightly under, but it's Willie was saying at half time, Billy Gilmour's not sitting playing as the anchor. He's up and he's putting pressure on as well.
It's a lovely flick by Depay. Now an opportunity for the home team on the counter. It's worked out to Cody Gakpo, left hand side, shoots for goal, and Gunn is to tip it over. And that's what Cody Gakpo's all about when he's on form. Driving to the edge of the area, the right foot shot tipped over by the Norwich City keeper, and it stays 1-0 to the Netherlands. But both teams are slugging it out here.
Yeah, they are. It's end to end. The Dutch have probably the one thing that they don't, and that's speed in their attack. So when they play the ball forward, they're putting you immediately on the back foot. It's a comfortable 1-0 for Angus Gunn, straight at him.
Yeah, low corner, back to Depay, in comes the cross ball, running at the penalty spot. McTominay flicks it clear. Xavi Simons knocking it back into the penalty area. It's cut out and breaks to McGinn. Heavy touch by McGinn, but Scotland could be away here on the left hand side. McGinn was caught. Gilmour's tried to catch Flecken off his line and gets it wrong, and it sails well past and behind for the goal kick.
I actually thought McGinn was going to try it, because Flecken is so far out of his goal. He's away on the left hand side. There's such a big target to hit. There's Ryan Christie, I think, it goes into his path, and it's not a great effort, but I love the idea, because it is definitely on.
He's just got that one professional goal, Billy Gilmour, and it did come in Scotland colours. He did so against France in that friendly in October in Lille. And Scotland led. And here is Jack Hendry, short ball to Gilmour. And Hendry back to the left angle of his own box for Tierney, sweeps it forward to McTominay, turns it out to the far side for Robertson. Here's Shankland holding it up well. Now it's played back forward towards Robertson. Can he get onto it? He's in there against Ake, chops back onto the right hand side, and not for the first time tonight, Scotland overcooking it in the attacking third. Stays 1-0 to the home team.
I'll tell you what a goal that would have been. Andy Robertson, when he gets it on his left foot, get your shot away. You're turning back in, you're letting Ake off the hook. Just get your shot away. It's brilliant play. Shankland does excellent initially, holding it up and holding Van Dijk off. Andy Robertson, as we see so often, continuing his run, the ball's perfect into his path, just get your shot away. He's turning back, he's going on his right foot, he's not getting any option, just shoot with your left foot, and it'd have been some goal.
57 on the clock, remains Netherlands 1, Scotland 0. And it is now with Geertruida right of the centre circle, just rolling it forward and getting it back immediately from Wiever. They've given it away again. It's been a sloppy performance at times from the Netherlands tonight. They certainly don't challenge for the European Championship title on this form. We did see them go to the last 8 at the World Cup, having missed the previous World Cup in Russia and the European Championship in 2016. Now we are in possession with Reinders, their goal scorer. And back to Geertruida of Feyenoord. There's Van Dijk. Long right foot ball looking for Gakpo. He was in behind Patterson, but he gets his head to it. He's the Everton defender. He comes off him last and out for a Netherlands throw in level with the edge of the D of the Scotland box on this left-hand side.
They have been pretty sloppy, the Dutch, but I don't know if they're surprised at how aggressive Scotland have been to press them and put them under that much pressure. I wonder if they thought they would just sit off and they'd be able to play however they wanted.
Frimpong rolls it into the box. Avi Siemens on the turn, and he lost his bearings as his shot was wide of the left-hand post, and it remains at 1-0.
That's another glimpse of their quality. You know, that it looks like Scotland are in good position because of the amount of bodies, but Siemens picks up a great position. It's a good pass. He half turn, gets the shot away early, which makes it difficult then to put pressure on.
It's a good game, this. It's been played at a really good tempo as well. And Ake with the foul on Patterson down below us. Free kick to Scotland. Just wonder at what point. I was going to ask you what point Steve Clarke makes changes. Their subs down there doing a gentle warm-up at the moment. He'll want to make changes. He'll want to get other players involved, but at the same time he'll be reluctant to change it given how well they're playing.
Yeah, but I think that it's crucial, you know, even more now. It's a squad game, and you know, it's maybe things have been going well. This has been a really good Scotland performance, but players getting introduced brings that freshness, maybe brings a different threat in the attack as well, and then get to see other players joining into a very good performance where you're looking to find that little thing that will make the difference to get a goal, get level, potentially go on and win the game.
Steve Clarke and John Carver in conversation down there as Tierney rolls it out to the left-hand side for Robertson, who is not far off being Scotland's longest serving captain. 3 more caps will do it for Andy Robertson. Looks as though the home team are going to make a couple of changes just shortly. We'll get to that. Scotland are in possession with Patterson. Now it's with McGinn getting it from Gilmore, trying to hold off Reinders. Rolls it back to Tierney on that far side, and he turns it back to Hendry. There's 3 more matches, and Andy Robertson will be the longest serving captain by games played. This is his 46th cap as captain and his 68th all told. So that would be quite something, and obviously that is going to happen. It'll happen before the Euros, injury dependent. But even that, this shows you, doesn't it, how well he's done personally. The Rangers legend George Young had an 11-year stint as skipper. There's more games these days at international level. 49 of his 54 caps were as captain. Robertson now on 46.
Yeah, and I think he'll go for a long, long time.
They've given it away. Scotland are in. Shankland's in! Oh, he's hit the bar! He's hit the bar! He's got his head in his hands! What an opportunity. Lawrence Shankland, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. All season, he's been dispatching those with aplomb. But this time, it kisses the top of the bar and goes over for a goal kick. Awful defending by the Dutch again. Careless at the back, gave it straight to McTominay. Shankland was in, and somehow James McFadden, he's contrived to miss it.
Well, I think everybody up here just thought it was going to hit the back of the net. He's just put too much height on it. And it was the chance he's been waiting for, because his link-up play, his hold-up play has been very good. And that is the chance you're waiting for. And if it's anyone you want to fall to, it's Lawrence Shankland. Stands the goalkeeper up, gives him the eyes. Goalkeeper goes to his right. He goes high. to the goalkeeper's left-hand side, and it just skims the bar. I think we all thought that was a certainty to hit the back of the net.
Joey Veerman, Denzel Dumfries have come on for the Dutch, and they are coming forward again here with menace. Xavi Simons out to that right-hand side. I mean, that is just as glorious a chance as you can possibly dream of for Lawrence Shankland. When he went to bed last night, whether he knew he was in the team or not, he probably did. And if he did, he would have been dreaming of that very scenario. And he has spurned just the best chance he's going to get to score tonight.
Yeah, I think even as the game develops, he's thinking, you know, I'm playing for the team, I'm holding the ball up, I'm bringing others into play, just give me a chance, just give me one chance, and that is it. And look, he doesn't snatch at it. You can see exactly what he's trying to do. He just leans back ever so slightly and gets just a little bit too much height on it. Otherwise, clearly, you know, it's going in the back of the net, but that is, as you say, a chance of dreams to go and get a goal for Scotland, particularly with the momentum that he's built up into this, to put himself in this position, to be starting a game of this, you know, against this opposition. It is a glorious opportunity, but we know Lawrence Shankland, we know that it won't affect him, and he'll be hoping and praying that another chance comes his way, and if it does, I'd back him to score it.
63.5 on the clock. The Netherlands lead by a goal to nil, but Shankland ensuring that Scotland have hit the crossbar twice tonight. I mean, at a point here, if Lawrence Shankland scores a goal tonight, he's probably pole position for the Germany game in Munich.
Yeah, I think because he's all-round play, because he's led the line, because he's held it up, and he's brought his teammates into play. And if he'd have got that goal, I mean, it's very, very hard to argue about him starting when the Euros come round.
Yeah, because you would probably compare the Dutch side to the German one. The Germans aren't in a brilliant place right now, but it is Germany on home soil, so they'll still be a huge challenge. But this performance from Scotland tonight suggests that there are many exciting times ahead. Shankland has scored 28 goals this season. One of those was for Scotland in Tbilisi. And he's just missed a glorious opportunity to level matters here in Amsterdam. McGinn goes down on the far side. He was fouled, says the referee. So there's a free kick over there. And Dutch changes that were made. Denzel Dumfries of Internazionale coming on for Frimpong, with Joey Veerman of PSV Eindhoven replacing Mats Wiever. As here Truda goes back the way to his keeper. Then first time out to Dumfries on the far side. Man with the Scottish town as his surname. And it's picked up by Ake on this near side to Van Dijk. Back the keeper. This is where they've been dodgy, the Dutch, when they're knocking it about inside their own defensive third. Yeah, because Scotland have put pressure on. There you go. Billy Gilmour's, you know, leaving Wijnaldum. Ryan Porteous is stepping onto him, and the ball goes back to the goalkeeper. It's been brave, and Scotland have got the rewards from it in a sense that they've won the ball back and created opportunities. And just come back to Lawrence Shankland. If he'd played this game and not been involved much, or not, you know, been pivotal to some of the opportunities, then you'd say, well, he's in the team to score goals, which he clearly is, because he's a goal scorer, but he shouldn't be judged just for the fact that he missed a chance. No, absolutely that's not. A striker's, you know, that happens every single game. They miss chances is what they do after it, and I'm sure he'll continue to play the way he has been. Xavi Simons coming forward, but his pass is behind Gakpo. I'm not sure how much longer he's going to get, Faddy. It looks like Shea Adams is going to come on. We were, all three of us, when we recorded the podcast yesterday here, we were all certain it would be Shea Adams who would start, because we felt he would be the man who would start against Germany in June. And Shankland's certainly given Steve Clarke plenty food for thought tonight. Really good performance, but he really should be on the score sheet to go along with it. And he's not, it seems, going to get the opportunity to put that to bed tonight. John Souttar and Lewis Ferguson are also waiting to come on, so a triple change coming up for Scotland as we approach the final quarter of this friendly. Netherlands 1, Scotland 0. That Reinders goal 5 minutes from half-time is the difference right now. McTominay back to Hendry. They've done everything but score tonight of Scotland. Yeah, they have. I think it's been such a strong performance. I mentioned it first half and at half-time. In terms of
technique and technical ability, Scotland have been on a par. They've performed really well, showed great composure, great moments as well to go and create opportunities. And, you know, Lawrence Shankland should have scored. Ryan Christie, you know, could have scored. It could have been so much different, but so much to love about this performance.
Shankland confirmed as being substituted here and replaced by Shea Adams. And his manager comes to give him a little hug there. He's getting the high fives from his teammates as well. So he's replaced by Southampton's Adams. And the other changes, looks like Kieran Tierney is going to be replaced here by Suter. And Lewis Ferguson will replace Billy Gilmore. James.
Yeah, I mean, Kieran Tierney, he's had a injury-ravaged season, so no surprise there. Billy Gilmore's been outstanding in the middle of the park, whether it's been in the build-up and he's dropping deep to take the ball, the composure, the aggression to go and press, and the timing of when he goes and releases himself, the intelligence to go and do that at the right time. He's been excellent. And Lawrence Shankland, I think that his performance shows you that he should be in contention to be starting games.
There's a chance though for the home team, and it's Memphis Depay going down at the edge of the box. The referee looking to see if there's an advantage here. The Netherlands play on, then he eventually gives the free kick, which is in a really good position for the Dutch here. It's just to the left of the D at the edge of the Scotland box, and I don't think Jack Hendry can have any complaints.
No, he can't. It's one where he's probably just instinctively just tried to do whatever he can to stop it. He's all over the back of Depay.
And Depay's made the most of it, to be fair.
But to be fair, yeah, I agree with that. Not too much in it, but as soon as you put your arm on the shoulder, then you're looking for trouble.
Well, Gakpo, Depay are both very interested in this free kick. John Suter, incidentally, on for his 9th cap. Lewis Ferguson on for his 11th. Che Adams for his 28th. And they've got some serious defending to do here, heading towards the final 20 minutes. The 5-man Scotland wall is facing this. Ake and Depay are over at Gakpo's left the scene. It's Memphis Depay, and it's off the wall. Up into the air it goes. Headed back by Dumfries. Scotland have a free kick themselves at the edge of the box. Even a draw, to get something positive result-wise out of this brilliant performance would be massive for the squad, you feel?
Yeah, I think that there's certainly enough to take out of it, but a draw would be at least a nice reward for the performance, because when you're playing, you're not in it for pats in the back and say, well done, that's, you know, a good performance.
What a ball that was. Big crossfield switch out to Patterson. Now McGinn's inside the box, sizes up the goal and bends it just wide. Fantastic effort from John McGinn. It actually looked as though it was swerving well wide initially. I think this ended up being a bit closer than the goalkeeper would have wanted. It's still not what John McGinn wanted. He's shaking his head and tutting away to himself. And it remains Netherlands 1, Scotland 0 on 70.5 minutes.
It's great play again. As you say, the switch of play, it didn't look like it was on. It was an incredible driven ball across the pitch. And then when it comes into McGinn, as so often we see, he steps to his left, he just lets the ball run across his body and gets his shot away. And I think it did look like it was starting to creep in.
Scotland going to make another change shortly. Stuart Armstrong is down there. Anthony Ralston as well. Here is Nathan Ake for the Dutch. Rolled back to his captain, Van Dijk. Out to the right-hand side. The World Cup quarter-finalists know they've been in a game tonight. And breaks Suter's way. Goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Let's not forget that wonderful Angus Gunn save from Memphis Depay as well, but that's not a great ball out of defence. Wijnaldum, Ferguson is all over him. He's held him off and lays it back there to Reinders, and now it's on the left-hand side with Gakpo on to the right, chips the ball across, the header's in! And that will settle things, you feel, for the Netherlands. It's a really good ball in to the 6-yard line. And Wijnaldum meets it and heads it past Angus Gunn into the bottom left corner as the former Liverpool midfielder was looking at it, and it's now Netherlands 2, Scotland 0, and that, you would think, will be enough to win the game for the Dutch.
Yeah, and look, it's something we've seen Wijnaldum do throughout his career. The time that he runs, excellent. I don't know if there's going to be a little check to see if he's offside here or not. But it comes, look, it's a great ball in from Gakpo, and Wijnaldum, as he's done throughout his career, just picks up a brilliant little position. But in the lead up to, Angus Gunn had the chance to play it to Ryan Porteous, and he goes for the clip over the head at Gakpo, and he hits it straight to Gakpo and allows Netherlands to maintain their attack. And these are things that you can look at and trying to iron out. Obviously, you know, you don't want to be leaving anyone spare in the middle of the box as well, but it just feels so harsh for the performance that Scotland have put in.
But it's a lesson, isn't it? Because you don't take your chances against the big nations, and Scotland have had chances tonight. You can be punished as Ralston replaces Patterson and Armstrong replaces Christie. That's Jorginho Wijnaldum's 28th international goal. Moved to Saudi Arabia last summer. He was on loan at Roma from Paris Saint-Germain last season. He was at Liverpool for 5 years. He's scoring goals 10 years ago at major tournaments, the World Cup in Brazil. Scored 3 at the last European Championship finals as well, which the Dutch part hosted in this stadium. But that one coming in 73 minutes will knock the stuffing out of the Scots, who've put in a wonderful performance this evening, but 2-0 down now, and the run without a win will be extended to 6 games for the first time in 15-16 years.
And that's why it's so important to play against teams at this level, because it's been a great performance and you can take confidence in, you know, the passing, the control in the game at times, the threat, the chances created. But you also get a stark reminder that the Dutch haven't been anywhere near at their best for me, and they've managed to get 2 goals. And they always look dangerous with their movement and their speed in the attack. And that is why you play these games, because yes, it's a friendly, as John Souttar just plays a wayward pass into midfield.
Here's a chance. Xavi Simons at the edge of the box, shoots for goal, drags his right foot, low effort past the left hand post, and it stays Netherlands 2, Scotland 0 going into the final 15 minutes. But they concede again, James, 3-0. You're at that point, you can't be over positive about it if you're on the receiving end of that kind of defeat.
You can't be, because it's just back to the point I was making when John Souttar tries that forced pass to John McGinn through about 5 or 6 bodies, that this is a reminder of the level that you're playing at. Now, when you go and play in the tournament, you might get a bit of praise for a performance and running a team close, particularly a bigger nation. We want to go there and qualify. We don't want, oh, it was great to have Scotland back at a tournament again. And these players don't want that. So it is just a little reminder that teams of quality don't always have to be their best to beat you. You have to be switched on, and you have to make sure you do everything properly. But there's still enough positives to take out of this game.
There's a chance for the Dutch again. Xavi Simons through, and a man down. The referee's having a look at it, and he's telling Memphis Depay to stop complaining. You might have been in on goal, and you're not going down there. As Scotland come on a counter here, it's been all about the Dutch the last 10 minutes or so. It's Armstrong on the far side. He was on the score sheet in the last international against the Norwegians. A 3-3 draw. Here is Ferguson, who is helping Bologna potentially qualify for the Champions League, which would be quite something. Here is Ralston. It's a cross in, the header's wide for McTominay. Another opportunity comes and goes for Scotland. They've had 3 or 4 gilt-edged opportunities tonight. They haven't taken any of them, and it stays Netherlands 2, Scotland 0.
And it's the best cross of the game from Scotland again. Worked really well into the wide area. Touch and deliver from Ralston. And Scott McTominay is just given a little nudge by Gertrude as he goes to head it, and it looks like he's going to put it in the back of the net, and it just goes wide. But it was still a good opportunity and this goes back to the point of how many positives, how far do you go in taking positives? Yes, you create the chances, but you need to take them as well. Can't be a game of played well, controlled it, created loads of chances, but we never scored. So I think a goal for Scotland would give a lot more, weight to the performance.
Yeah. The Dutch have made a couple of changes. Memphis Depay's come off, as has Xavi Simons. Wout Weghorst of Hoffenheim got both their goals against Argentina at the World Cup quarter-final. And bad-tempered affair against the eventual winners. And Borussia Dortmund's Daniel Malen has come on as well. 29th cap for him, 30th for Weghorst. There's 8 goals in total for his country, and he got a warm welcome from the home supporters there as he made his way onto the park. Sports Sound here, BBC Radio Scotland Extra on digital and online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. Lower league action for you tomorrow on the show. And we're back with the national team on Tuesday night against Northern Ireland, live here on the radio and on the telly, as well as Adams puts pressure on Van Dijk and comes off Van Dijk and out for a Scotland throw-in up the park, looking to try and get a foothold in this game again. A little bit stunned, and that second goal hit the back of the net from Wijnaldum. Here's Armstrong down the left-hand side, looking for space to cross. He wins the throw-in. This time it's about level with the Dutch 6-yard line. Over on the far side, Robertson over it. Bowls it short to McTominay, and back to Robertson, and back to Suter. Suter looks up at the box. It's a poor ball though, it's come right through to Flekken. Comfortable take for the Dutch keeper, and they've given it away at the back again. How many times have they done that tonight? Armstrong for Scotland, out to the left for Robertson. His cross takes a deflection. It's going to break to Adams, elects to keep it in play, looking for his club mate Armstrong. It's cleared though. Here's Robertson again, left angle of the box, finds Scott McTominay, then to Robertson. Going to get the ball in, and in comes the cross from Robertson. It's too close to the keeper again though, and he holds on with both gloves. 79 on the clock. Netherlands 2, Scotland 0.
Yeah, they're still getting in positions to put balls into the box, and unfortunately the quality just hasn't been there at times.
There's Malen down the right hand side, low ball in, is cleared by Porteous. Armstrong controls on the chest, sees what's ahead of him, not much, so he rolls it out to Robertson, who switches the play to Celtic's Ralston. Across the halfway line for McGinn. McGinn then to Ralston, and then to Ferguson, and back to the edge of the centre circle for Jack Hendry. Low ball to Porteous to his right, gets it out to Ralston on this near side, faced by Gakpo. Infield to Ferguson. McGinn has it nicked off him, and the Dutch have it back with Joey Veerman, who we saw up against Rangers in Champions League qualifying over the last couple of seasons. Then it's Van Dijk, little short ball to Geertruida, and then to Van Dijk again. Final 10 minutes, James.
Yeah, and the game is a little stretched now.
There's a chance, yeah. Opportunity perhaps here for Wijnaldum again, outside the box, rolling it to Malen on the left foot, shoots, and it's blocked by Suter. Still the Netherlands come. Malen just turning it back the way there to Reinders, out to Gakpo, driving along the 18, shooting wide. Good effort from Cody Gakpo though, and that's the second time he's done that tonight. I said that is real trademark Gakpo, that, and he's put it past the right hand post, and it stays 2-0 to the hosts.
Yeah, and I'm saying about the game getting straight. Scotland are getting into good areas, wide areas, and maybe not being able to find that final cross, that pass. The Dutch are looking probably a little bit more solid against the ball, but they're looking so dangerous again when they get the counter. As you say, it goes out to Gakpo. I've seen him so many times, cut inside with the right foot, he catches it well, but it flies wide. But they just look, they've got that little bit of extra edge in the attack. Although the overall play and general play, it's been very even, they just look dangerous in the attack.
Yeah, it's a real proper lesson in finishing as the Dutch make a couple of changes. Cody Gakpo has come off, as has Wijnaldum. And Teun Koopmeiners of Atalanta in Italy has come on, and as has the veteran these days, Daley Blind, who is currently playing with Girona in Spain, who at one point were challenging for the La Liga title. Still sitting second, but they've drifted away from Real Madrid. As McTominay shows a bit too much of it to his opposite number there, but it breaks kindly for the visitors, and it's Suter, and now it's with Porteous. Short ball to Ralston, to Porteous, and back to Jack Hendry at the edge of his own box, and he launches a long ball forward, which McGinn's going to chase, but Nathan Ake's there, and he gets it back to his goalkeeper. Flecken, first time with the right foot, into the midfield it drops. Weghorst going for it, but his little ball out to this near side towards Blint is cut out by Ralston, and it's played back to Angus Gunn, who finds Hendry. Almost an 83, the Netherlands with a 2-0 lead. Ball forward is won back there by the home team. And now a little outside of the boot, ball flick forward, Cope Miners, he's in, he's round Angus Gunn, and the ball across is cut out by Porteous and behind for the corner, and it stays Netherlands 2, Scotland 0.
Yeah, it's good defending in the end. Angus Gunn again hesitates, then goes again. I thought Cope Miners could have potentially went for goal there. He goes for the cutback, and Ryan Porteous getting back to get the block in, but it's just that speed in their attack. When they play it in behind, they've got the speed to get there. Angus Gunn with a hesitation. Fortunately for him, he gets away with it.
Kenny McLean's going to be on shortly for his 37th cap. He'll be desperate to be able to go at the Euros and enjoy it, having missed out the last one through injury. Dutch corner, it's floated into the 6-yard box, the header's in! Wout Weghorst scores! Downward header into the net, direct from the corner, and Scotland are unravelling all of a sudden in Amsterdam. Weghorst, it was all too easy for the Hoffenheim striker, and Gunn couldn't get to it, and it's now Netherlands 3, Scotland 0.
Well, it was a let-off for the initial chance for Cope Miners, for Angus Gunn, but they managed to go and put it in the back of the net. It's just floated into the 6-yard box. Wout Weghorst, he's a fair size, he just times it well, gets up. I think it's McTominay, no, it's Jack Hendry in front of him that mistimes his jump. No, it's McTominay. Mistimes the jump, Weghorst doesn't. Angus Gunn's got no chance.
It's too easy. That was too easy. Wout Weghorst is 6'6", you can't miss him. As Scotland make the change, Kenny McLean makes his way onto the park, and he's on the ball here with the left foot out to the left-hand side. It's John McGinn he's come on for. And my St Mirren teammates all those years ago, but that's what we're saying, James. It goes to 3-0 and still time for the Dutch. What had been a really positive night for Scotland could turn into be a hugely negative one.
Yeah, and it is a bit harsh on them, but that's the harsh reality of football at this level. When you're playing against an opposition that haven't been, I would say, all too impressive, haven't been miles better, but they've just looked dangerous in the counter, they've looked dangerous in the attack with their speed. They've changed it up as well. It's new players that are in there, they still have that same threat, and it's, it's a lesson that when you play teams at this level, if you get chances, you have to take them, because you know they will get them, and you know that they will eventually take them. And for all the great play, they've still looked so dangerous.
Daniel Malin's in behind, and it's Malin. 4-0. The roof is caving in here on Steve Clarke's men. Daniel Malin of Borussia Dortmund this time got to the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's a cool finish into the bottom reverse right-hand corner, and all of a sudden Scotland are on the receiving end of a thrashing here in Amsterdam. Netherlands 4, Scotland 0.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I didn't see it coming. I thought the performance level has been so high, and it's Malin does brilliantly. He makes a run across the defence, he just bends his run. I think it's Jack Hendry gambles, tries to step up, play him offside, gets it all wrong. Timing the run's excellent, timing the pass is excellent, and the finish as well, outside of the boot, beyond Gunn. And it is now, how many positives can you take out of a 4-0 defeat, and there's still time left in the clock as well.
They're checking this. It's tight, but he looks on.
Yeah. He looks like he's timed the run to perfection. He makes a run, bends it in front of Jack Hendry, I think it is, who steps up, but he maybe steps up too late. The timing of the run, the pass is good, and it's a really good finish.
I think we're all a bit stunned here. Scotland should have scored 2 or 3 goals themselves tonight, and they'll be kicking themselves. They make their way back to their base. And it goes out for a throw-in over on the far side for Robertson to take. In fact, I think it's eventually going to be given as a free kick. Long ball forward, looking for Ferguson. Van Dijk underneath it and heads clear. To the left-hand side for Stuart Armstrong on the turn on the touchline. Level the edge of the centre circle, back to Robertson. Now it's with McLean. Oh, he's run into trouble. Mallon has it back for the Dutch, and he's driving forward. They look hungry for more here. Over on the right-hand side, 2 or 3 waiting in the middle. Comes off McTominay, breaks Scotland's way. McLean, then Armstrong with a poor touch to the edge of the area. He's on the deck, forcing it back into his own box. Suter goes back to his keeper, and Gunn dumps it out for a Dutch throw-in over on the far side.
Yeah, that composure, that shape, that aggression, it looks like it's gone. The Dutch are looking so dangerous anytime they pick the ball up. A bit of nerves. Look, it's 4-0. Of course, they're going to feel the result, but they're looking a bit shell-shocked at the minute in defence.
That's now 18 goals conceded in 6 matches, where they haven't managed to find a victory. And bleeding goals all of a sudden. As Jack Hendry picks up. I mean, they were 1-0 down with 18 minutes to play. And suddenly they don't know what day of the week it is. You move into the 90th minute. 4-0 to the Dutch. It's McLean to Porteous. And suddenly you're going from a position at half-time and maybe deeper into the second half of thinking, Scotland, nothing to fear going to the European Championship finals now. And now suddenly you're all concerned about it again.
Yeah, and because you're looking at the opposition, and these are teams that Scotland are going to have to beat. You're going to have to win games like this. I know it's a friendly, and I know that changes are made, and you sometimes it's good because it gives you a lift. Other times you can lose your rhythm. You can't then blame it on the actual end result if you're going to use it if you win a game in terms of the changes. So I think that you're going to have to take your chances. You're going to have to defend situations better if you've got any hopes or aspirations of qualifying out a group campaign. And for so long it was so good, but you're sitting looking at a 4-0 defeat and you're trying to build confidence from it. And it's look, you could step back and say performance wise it was good, if this and if that, but that's not how football's played.
3 minutes added, we're into the first of them, and I think Steve Clarke just hoping this doesn't get any worse. It is a chance though for the Dutch. Mallon's in behind again. This time it's over the bar when the flag goes up. He's a flying machine, Donyell Mallon, and he has caused Scotland so many problems since coming off the bench. I think they'll just thankfully he didn't start the game. He's been lightning.
Well, you can be thankful, but players at that level are going to be in teams that you're playing against. You need to deal with it. You have to deal with it, and Scotland haven't since he come on. Weghorst is a different proposition because he doesn't have that speed to go and run behind, but he's got the presence, the physical presence, and you have to deal with these situations, and Scotland haven't dealt with it. A lot of changes, and it can disrupt the rhythm of the team, but it's still a 4-0 defeat, and what was promised to be so many positives coming out of this game, it's very hard to make that argument because of the actual result. And talking about taking these games to build confidence, to give you practice for getting into the tournament, and it's just a 4-0 defeat is very, very hard to take the positives required getting into a massive tournament.
Not just that, they're going to be opening up the tournament against the home side Germany, who are being written off by so many people. Always a dangerous thing to do, and given it's their tournament, they'll be playing on the opening night. The Germans will be up for that one, and that is the worry, that is the danger, that this kind of situation can occur on the biggest stage of all. And it's played back to Nathan Ake at the edge of his own box. He finds Geertruida. And it looks like the Dutch have had their fun. They're just knocking the ball around with just a minute of the stoppages left. And Steve Clarke is going to have to think pretty quickly about how he puts a positive spin on this, because he would have been thinking, okay, lose the game 1-0, I can still go into that media conference afterwards with relative buoyancy.
Yeah. I think, look, to try and, you know, we're emotional, to try and take a step back, the big moments in games, we always hear it, the big moments have really mattered. Scotland had a chance in the first half, brilliant save, no blame at anyone. Shankland has a chance. These are moments that change the game.
There's another chance for the Dutch, and it's over the bar. Cope Miners, it's a wonderful ball by Malen. That's the difference. The subs that the Dutch have made this evening have upped the ante for them. It's injected new life into them. Whereas for the Scots, they've come off it since then.
Yeah, well, they look like they're going to score every time they go forward now, and it wasn't the case for large parts of the game. And you have to try and, you know, deal with that. You have to try and adjust. And I just feel for them because of how much they've put into it.
It's all over. And the natives here in Amsterdam weren't too impressed with what they saw in the first half. Albeit the wonderful goal from Tijani Reinders brought them to their feet. 5 minutes from half-time, that after Scotland had hit the bar. Ryan Christie's header was saved, tipped onto the goal frame by Flaken. It was a really good move by the Scots. Christie was unfortunate because it produced a world-class bit of goalkeeping. The second half, well, Lawrence Shankland has spurned the best chance of all. He's in on the goal, he's one-on-one with Flecken, but his shot bounced off the top of the crossbar. The scoreline was sitting at 1-0 at that time. All the way through to the 72nd minute, it was 1-0. Scotland very much in the game. So many positives, so many encouraging performances in navy blue out there. But then it all went horribly wrong after that. The Dutch made all those changes. The second goal was scored by Wijnaldum, nodding home a Gakpo corner. That was disappointing. It was just way too easy. And it was way too easy as well for Weghorst, who did similar with the head. Donyell Malen rounding off the scoring 4 minutes from the end of the 90. And he was teed up by Reinders, and he made no mistake as he flicked it to the outside of the boot into the bottom right corner to suddenly turn an evening of mostly positivity for Steve Clarke into a bit of a shellacking here. They've taken a sore one, and now they've got just 3 matches to play before the Allianz in Munich on June the 14th, when they take on the hosts Germany. And they've simply got to take the lessons that they've been handed to here by the 6th best team in the FIFA World Rankings, World Cup quarter-finalists. It wasn't until the last 20 minutes that we really saw a side that looked like World Cup quarter-finalists, but I don't think there's any doubt that if the Dutch turn it on as they did in those closing stages, they will be a threat in Germany in June. And the Scotland players' shoulders slumped as they make their way off the pitch here at the Johan Cruyff Arena. Will have to dust themselves down ahead of the visit from the Northern Irish on Tuesday. It will not be this kind of level that they will be coming up against on that occasion. It will be, though, in June, and they've got to take the positives from this. It finishes here in Amsterdam. The Netherlands 4, Scotland 0.
On digital radio.
Online at BBC Sport Scotland.
Or play BBC Radio Scotland Extra on your smart speaker or BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound.
There's no substitute.